always from the heart of the city, and now on demand 24/7 on the CHFI website. This is the soundtrack to Nothing. And I'm Don Jackson, around the world on the internet. It is a subject I have touched upon in the past. There are times when I sit before my computer and find it on the screen as I'm trying to compose my thoughts. Other times, great things come from nothing. This hour, a little bit of nothing. For Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Burton Cummings with Dream. Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. And Lady Antebellum and Need You Now. What a great song. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers. When we send our sons and daughters away to university or college, we can't help but wonder sometimes how serious they are about their studies. Harold Macmillan, former British Prime Minister, recalling a professor's advice, said, "Nothing you learn here at Oxford," he told us in his opening remarks, "will be of the slightest possible use to you later, save only this, that if you work hard and intelligently, you should be able to detect when a man is talking rot. And that, in my view, is the main, if not the sole purpose of education." Unquote. I'm Don Jackson from iTunes and CHFI.com. Fight for Fighting with the Riddle. Ray Charles with Norah Jones, Here We Go Again, and Beyonce and Irreplaceable. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers. This was written some years back by M.W. Larmor in Graham, Texas, in the Rotary Scandal Sheet. The galleries are full of critics. They play no ball. They fight no fights. They make no mistakes because they attempt nothing. Down in the arena are the doers. They make many mistakes because they attempt many things. Ford forgot to put a reverse gear on his first automobile and then went on to revolutionize the automobile industry with his Model T. The man who makes no mistakes lacks boldness and the spirit of adventure. He never tries anything new. He is a brake on the wheels of progress. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Jordin Sparks with a Tattoo. John Mayer, Waiting on the World to Change. And David Gates and Bread with the classic If. I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers, and this hour, a rather nothing subject. Helen Keller lived the kind of life that few of us could ever imagine. But she had a keen insight. I asked a friend who had just returned from a long walk in the woods what she had observed. "Nothing in particular," she replied. How is that possible? I asked myself. I, who cannot hear or see, find hundreds of things to interest me through mere touch. I feel the delicate symmetry of a leaf. I pass my hands lovingly about the rough, shaggy bark of a pine. Occasionally, I am very fortunate. I place my hand gently on a small tree and feel the happy quiver of a bird in full song. Helen Keller in The Atlantic Magazine. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Eric Clapton and Change the World, and Sarah McLachlan with An Ordinary Miracle. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Sue Bender from Plain and Simple, A Woman's Journey to the Amish, published by Harper San Francisco, wrote, and I quote, "The hardest times have been when it looks as though nothing is happening. Or worse, when it looks as though something is wrong in my life. It's not working, I say to myself. Then I remember the scrap pile filled with odd pieces of material from those early quilters. Nothing was wasted. Out came those glorious quilts. I have to keep reminding myself that nothing I am doing is wasted time. I may not understand or like what is happening, but I can begin to appreciate that the impasse is another marker on the way." Unquote. Sue Bender from Plain and Simple, A Woman's Journey to the Amish, published by Harper San Francisco. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Paul McCartney and Every Night, and Jason Mraz and I'm Yours. And I'm Don Jackson with Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Sasha Carnegie in The Dark Knight, published by Peter Davies Limited in London, wrote, and I quote, "Have you ever gathered a handful of sand and felt you had hold of something? You squeeze and squeeze, and the harder you squeeze, the faster the sand trickles away, and you are left with nothing. Such are dreams." Unquote. And finally, Don Harold, quoted in the Points to Ponder column of the May 1984 issue of the Reader's Digest magazine, wrote, "If today's average man is confronted with an hour of leisure, he is likely to palpitate with panic. An hour with nothing to do? He jumps into a car and drives off fiercely in pursuit of diversion. We catch a train. We grab a bite of lunch. Everything has to be active and electric. We need less leg action and more acute observation as we go. Slow down the muscle and stir up the mind." Unquote. And if nothing else, that's what I hope you take away from this program. Lovers and Other Strangers from iTunes and CHFI.com. Good night, sweet dreams. I'm Don Jackson.